Hello, you're with Libby from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to look at hinge stamping in a different way. The other day I showed you how I did this double hinge stamping using a sentiment from Detailed with Love and Dragonfly Dreams, and then how we stamped the dragonfly and the body that you didn't really need, but it was a way to show you how to do that with Stamparatus. So I'm going to show you another way of doing hinge stamping, and this time I'm using One Wild Ride, and we're going to make a card that looks like the motorbike is in motion. So I've already placed my stamp on the plate, and I'm just going to ink it up with Memento Black. Try and get some good coverage here. Give your ink pad a bit of a twist. I don't know why that works, but it just seems to. The Stampin' Ink spots are good as well. Alright, then just place the plate back into the Stamparatus, and we're going to stamp down and press down. Alright, press down. Okay, I'm not terribly happy with that, so I'm going to ink the stamp up again, and because I've got it in the Stamparatus, I don't have to worry about whether it's going to be in the right place or not, because the Stamparatus is keeping my cardstock there, and when I put the plate back in, because I haven't moved the stamp, it'll be in the perfect position. Alright, this using the Stamparatus this way also gives you a nice deep image of detailed stamps such as the motorbike. There's a lot of detail etching and what have you on that stamp, and you want to get that inked up and stamped well. That's looking much better. Alright, then we're going to lift it up, and I'm going to go over one hinge. Go over one hinge and stamp again, and this will give the impression that the bike is moving. I'm just going to move my magnet, and I'm going to go over one more hinge, stamp down again. See how we're getting a faded image? One more hinge and stamp again. It's probably about all the impression we're going to get off that stamp. Alright, so it just sort of gives the idea of the bike in motion. Okay, then I'm going to take that stamp off. Okay, and this time we want to come in with the road. We just want to put a bit of road underneath the bike, so make sure that's still in the same. And with the clear mount stamps, you have to sort of judge. I'm just going to turn my Stamparatus round so I can see where I'm actually putting this stamp, so that the road actually meets the bottom of the bike. I think about there. Alright, now I'm just going to put the hinged plate back in this way so that we can move that stamp along once we've inked it. Now I'm not going to do a vibrant image on this one, and I want to make sure it's straight. Alright, so I'm just going to wipe the ink along the stamp this time rather than inking it up too well, and stamp down, and then move it along 2 hinges and stamp down. There we go, and stamp down. A bit more ink on that. There we go, and there's our road. So that's the top of our stamp, and then I want to use some of these other images. So I thought perhaps the bike sort of mess, if you like, but I'm just going to use that here. Put the hinge down, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of paper towel under my card here, just really to protect the base. I can wipe it off with my chamois, and just a light rubbing on that stamp, and then down. Okay, so that's all that stamping done. No idea what this is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to move this again, and I'm just going to use it instead of my acrylic to stamp on this piece of card. You don't have to use your magnet all the time. I think we'll do Life's a Journey. Life's a journey, enjoy the ride. Good. Now I can place it up here in the corner, and then I've got the rest of my card to do something else with. Close the plate down to pick up the stamp, and then ink it up again in Memento Black. Make sure I get good coverage of ink. Give your ink pad a bit of a twist. Okay. Put your plate back in and stamp down. And then if you're not happy with the ink coverage, you can always stamp again without worrying about where it's got to go. I think I'd like that a bit darker. So I'm actually going to move my Stamparatus out of the way so I can get a flatter surface. You can get a flat surface by putting a stamp case underneath it, but getting a flat surface helps you get your ink everywhere properly. And then all you do is bring the plate back in. You don't have to worry about it not stamping correctly because you haven't moved your card and you haven't moved the stamp. So just bring it back in and stamp down, give it a good rub, and there we have it. Alright, so I'm going to move that out of the way and move my Stamparatus out of the way, and we'll come in and make our card. So I have a piece of Blueberry Bushel here, which is 14.9 by 21, scored and folded at 10.5. And I've got a piece of Real Red, which is 14.4 by 10. And I'm just going to stick that on the front. Don't you hate that? Alright, when that happens, do this. You've got two ends of your Tombow. One's a wedge end, so use that to spread the glue out so you don't have a big glob in one spot. Another little tip. And you don't need a lot of liquid glue, but I do like it because it gives you wriggle room. My card front, straight on the front. And I just need to do inside of the card and the envelope, and I might just use this road splotch type stamp. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? Bitumen or something, asphalt envelope. Just make sure it's the right way up with the flap up the top. It's like Postman Pat's stamped all over it. Alright, that's the envelope, and we'll just do the same on the insert. And you could use one of the sentiments if you wanted to. Some quite nice sentiments in this set. Congratulations, Born to Ride. Birthday wishes to the leader of the pack. Said no motorcycle rider ever. I really don't feel like going for a ride today. Hope today is one wild ride. So it's got some nice sentiments in it as well. Alright, so I'll stick this in. So we've got a card insert done. Here we go. Now, I don't have the badges and what have you framelits. So I'm just going to quickly cut around this and stick it on the card, and we're done. So the trick to fussy cutting is leave a little edge around the edge, and then if you make a mistake, for some reason it's not quite so noticeable, and move the paper or the card, not your scissors. Alright, so move the paper. So I'm moving the paper with my left hand, cutting with my right. And of course, if you're left-handed, do it the other way around. Whatever works for you. Now don't forget, I've got the Stamparatus special going at the moment, and you can buy that through my online store, and the special is to buy the Stamparatus from me. So that's Libby at libbystamps.com. Go to the shop button and you can buy the Stamparatus, and I will send you a silicone craft mat free of charge. Now, of course, this is only available to Australian residents, and I'd love you to shop with me at any time. We've also got a joining special at the moment, so if you'd like to join my team, I'd love to have you. So you can, for $169, you get to order or choose $235 worth of product, and you also get to choose, on top of that, an ink pad family set of 10 ink pads, and that's worth $117 in itself. So that's a great bargain. So you get $235 worth of product plus $117 worth of ink pads, all for $169. You don't have to stay a demonstrator. It's up to you. But, of course, I'd love you to join my team. So, there's our card. And we've done some stamping off and made it look like it's in motion. All right, so that's it from me now. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye for now.
Make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll find